just wanna tell you I am. So honey now, take me into your loving arms. Kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars. Place your head on my beating heart. Thinking out loud, maybe we found love right where we are. When my hair's all gone and my memory fades, and the crowds don't remember my name. When my hands don't play the strings the same way, I know you will still love me the same. 'Cause honey, your soul could never grow old, it's evergreen. And baby, your smile's forever in my mind and memory. I'm thinking about how people fall in love in mysterious ways. Maybe it's all part of a plan. Well, I'll just keep on making the same mistakes, hoping that you'll understand. But baby, now take me into your loving arms. Kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars. Place your head on my beating heart. Thinking out loud, maybe we found love right where we are. Maybe we found love right where we are. Maybe we found love right where we are. When your legs don't work like they used to before, and I can't sweep you off of your feet.
I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah.
Good morning, grasshoppers.
Feel like a dynamite, ready to explode right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear.
We have just a few games going. Rook and Bishop versus Rook. Very tedious. Ouch. Right rook pawn. Probably not needed. Is David so confident of this? That is the question. It has become complicated. One, two. So a6, king h2, bishop f1, king g1, king 2, g3. And he's in. Whew, it has been a rough week. Good morning, Nico. Good morning, Kingslayer Sloan. Yeah, yesterday's stream was the one that I was talking about. If you check the date on that, I noticed that you said, oh no, but that was yesterday's stream that I missed. Good morning, David. A little iffy there on that end game. Yeah? 3D, good morning.
Time is running out.
Oh, let's get moving here. Checking the settings. This is an A3 week. Oh, that's not necessarily the best possible scenario. Now there's no Nimzo Indian. But is a6 a useful move in the exchange variation? But then again, is a3 a useful move in the exchange variation? We're going to go with a little bit more of a traditional. Whoa. And I... Starting to look good for a3, less good for a6. A lot of pressure on d5, none on d4, no e5 break. So the knight on c6 is looking a little sketchy. Just for one day. Not really threatening to take on b7, by the way, because knight a5 will win my queen. Yes. Just be saying. Perhaps I should have prefaced bishop f6 before queen b3. Fascinating. Now we have the isolated pawn on d5 to bother. We might have a solid extra pawn on the c5 square because bishop takes is met by b4. Good morning, Sahaj. Oh, thank you, Kingslayer Sloan. I didn't know that you were going to raid me. Now, this should be met by d4. However, double exchange. And the b5 knight is still hanging. Quite a bit of pressure here. Where I follow.
Say something, I'm giving up on you. And I feeling so small.
we do have a little bit of a discovery there.
I will stumble and fall. I'm still learning to love.
Loose pieces, sink positions, yeah? Aw, sounds curtain raised there.
Say something.
Oh no, you have every right to stream the stream as well. I'm sorry that I didn't get a chance to give you a heads up yesterday, though.
Sorry that I couldn't get to you.
I am going to take Wednesday mornings off, though. That much is true. I've decided that when the school year starts,
Anywhere
Tuesday night, Team 9 ball, followed by
say something. I'm giving up on you. And I
okay,
swallow my pride. You're the
and now
that I love. And I'm saying
goodbye. Oh, there's a small problem with this, right?
I'm giving up on you.
There's a small problem with this particular setup.
I'm sorry that
My opponent was very astute as he understood what was going on.
and anywhere I would have followed you. Oh, say something. I'm giving up on you. Say something. I'm giving up on you.
Do I want to do it that way? I do need 3 pawns for the piece if there ever were some. Well, I wasn't sure about that one either. This could create a little bit of a problem. Just a wee bit of a problem.
Victory.
Oh, the time advantage got him, but he did calculate correctly that I lost a piece. Knight to d4, and the plan going into it was a blunder. What happened there? So knight f3 was less than best, right? I have to go with the standardized plan of e3, bishop to d3, queen to c2, and knight on g to e2. The old heave-ho on trying to get a knight to e5 is not so great. Wow. Did I miss something in this particular position? Yes. More than likely, I just capture on f6. Or play queen c2. Capture on f6 and playing queen to b3 was my original thought. It's not a real plan, though, apparently. Queen to c2. There is no threat. So was bishop takes f6 better? He always has bishop to e6, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Queen to c2 again, very logical, putting pressure on the c7 pawn. Therefore, queen to b3, doing okay, and now suddenly he gave back a pawn. I should play bishop takes f6 first. Ah. Bishop takes f6 first. In this move, b takes c5, rook takes c5. I have to play knight to d4 straight away, and I missed it. I castled very naturally. This unfortunately allows not only bishop g5, but queen to c7, creating some counterplay. Apparently I'm playing the best I can. Queen to d1, I'm just winning. Oh, because I'm up a piece. Because I'm up a piece. Got it. Because I'm up a piece, this is just winning. Oh no, I missed queen takes c3. Oh my god, that's terrible. Yeesh. And I forgot that I was up a piece. What an amazing jettison that game was, 3 deep. No, I did not. I posted it on Discord that the stream was questionable. If I don't get on within a certain amount of time, I had the first day of school yesterday and I needed to be on time. I ended up absolutely jettisoning. Oh no, Black's timeout. Black had rook to d4 in that position. There's no reason to lose that position. Rook to d4, king to f6, f takes g5, king takes g5. Maybe it's not such an easy task. Perhaps just pawn takes pawn now, then rook to... Yeah, it is a problem. Get back to our game. Viper, good morning. He plays c3 here. We'll fight for the long diagonal. We'll keep it control. We'll keep some control over. And now, is e5 realistic? I don't know. e5, de, de, knight takes e5, bishop takes g2. Yeah, let's go for it. Let's pound him in the schnoz, because I don't really believe that I'm in that much trouble here. Now for the moment of truth. e4 knight e5. Let's lock that knight out of the equation. First we lock the knight out of the equation, then we shut the queen out, then we go for the pawn on a4. Is there a threat? Am I going to be overworked? I don't know. First things first, we have to do exactly what we promised. Put the maximum amount of pressure on that. Knight takes e5. Bishop takes g2. Now knight takes e5. Am I overworked? Yes. It appears that I am somewhat overworked. It is a bummer.
조금씩 멀어져요. 보고 싶다.
Give him a little checkup on the "Are you really threatening me?" scale. There we go. Now we're in business again. Snoop, good morning. Playing dressless chess. This is where we usually attempt to call the bluff. Following through on our plan. Let's drive this point home as best we can.
Check.
Just have to keep attacking. Just keep attacking. Slowly but surely. One more passed pawn amongst friends. Where do you think you're headed? I don't think so. You're not far enough away. You just have to regroup on those weaknesses. Beating dressless. Arisdu. Stop taking which one of us seriously. We're going to simplify this position and win on the outside. Can we? Yes. I definitely think that was a very okay game. I can't believe we finished before so many others. But didn't like my d6 move, yeah? How bad could it be? Is he really threatening to take that? I guess he is. Nobody's played this position before, or I've never played this position before as white. As black, I've played e6, cd4, b6, g6, d6. I've got a winning record with d6. Basically, I know he wants to play bishop f4, so I'm playing against that. I am black in this position. So therefore, if he's going to play bishop f4, d6 is a very logical move. I'm playing against a man. All of my games have been against either. Wow, White has a terrible record in this. And the one game where I didn't do so well, I played e6, for what it's worth. I don't know that I've ever played the move d5. Oh, I have played the move d5 twice. Probably by accident. But in any event, d6. My opponent plays g3. What else is he going to do? He doesn't want to commit his bishop. I always feel like b6 is a pretty consistent continuation. Go to the masters. Yeah, b6 is a common master reply. RJA. Sloans are bad. Who hurt you, Honest Noob? What's going on? Indeed. Just troll talking. Yesterday, of course, reconnected with a couple of Norwegian friends. I was very good that Sebastian Mihailov connected with me on Twitter. And I like to post with Ariantari drinking with Magnus. Which is good. Look at all these moves that are terrible. Now, why is this terrible? Knight takes e5 was the move that I was afraid of. And after bishop takes g2, knight takes e7 runs into queen takes. And I lost a pawn out of the deal? Indeed I did. I did lose a pawn out of the deal. My fears were realized. Nicely done, Honest Noob. 2300 performance. Oh, because you weren't beating, you were not beating Dressless. Oh, thank you, RJA. I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna put the shoe on the other foot. Can I hesitate for a little bit more? No. I need a foothold in the center if you're not gonna put a foothold. There was a time when I answered knight f6 with knight f3. Routinely. So now, in this particular position, I believe taking over the center is in the cards. We're actually transposing a little bit to a mainline English position. Standard stuff. Whoa. I think I have a desperado. Get my pawn back, I have a desperado. With the weakened white squares. Still going to put my bishop on that square. No, the standard line is just to take on g4, play bishop g6. We're going to continue ganging up on the pawns that we can gang up on. Gang a pawn. Interesting. Do we feel this is going to be an even exchange? Bummer indeed. And now, do we continue to weaken the white squares? We'll find out. Just continuing to weaken the white squares to the best of our ability. Now I get to decide on e4 versus e3. Going for e4. Since the king is on e7. Always concerned that there's a trick I haven't seen. The white squares are no one's friend here. And we're going to continue our plan of restriction. Basically, if his king weren't on e7, moment of truth, huh? Does he have a threat? I don't know. I'm just planning on scooching, scooching, and scooching. Oh, I'm not scooching after that move, am I? f4, bishop h4, check. Fair enough. My king is scooching a different way.
Check.
I think you could have prefaced it with queen f3. You might have prefaced that with queen f3. I might have prefaced mine with rook g1. My f4 I could have prefaced with rook g1. This is the plan. And he's trying to freeze me. Is there a problem here? I don't know. Is there a problem here? I cannot recall the advantages or the non-advantages of Can I not step out of the way?
Check.
Am I not stepping out of the way?
Check.
Mate and 2? Not mate and 2.
Check. 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 Victory.
Yeah. I was very lucky again, by the way. Very, very lucky again. Better to be lucky than good. You, No, I understand. Thank you, Pegasus. Wait a minute. Did we not hear the sound alerts? I don't recall hearing the sound alert. Uh-oh. Check it out. Pegasus. Pegasus, good morning.
Do it!
Ismail.
Do it!
Oh no, it's Nico. What am I doing? I'm so used to it. We need our own sound. I have to figure out what sound is better for Nico. Great players are always lucky, according to Capablanca, indeed. Mm-hmm. It helps to have a plan in the opening, it honestly does. I just want to reach a position that I'm comfortable with. And this is one of those positions.
Check.
Oh no!
Check.
Now we play against the isolated d4 pawn, as much as we humanly can. And we grab all of those weak white squares, seeing chess in a new light. In my own way, seeing chess in a new light. We'll go this way for the white squares. How about that? Whoa! Dudovich. Okay. As long as I get to the 7th rank, we can be friends. These pawns aren't going anywhere. We have a very unusual Benko-esque-like pressure. And now for something completely unreasonable. Where are we headed?
Hold on, just let us escape.
This seems like a natural move to go after all of that. Knight A4. Very unusual. Okay. Is there a moment of truth at all here? I have a lot of stuff hanging. I do have a lot of stuff hanging. It does seem like. Okay. Here's coordination. Here's coordination, I'm afraid, Mr. Usulonecker. I had a lot of activity for the pawn. I was very lucky again. Yes, I actually wanted to write a book on creating your own luck. Generating the circumstances for creating luck. We're way overdue for a Kingslayer Sloan shout-out. We need one more follow, for those of you in the viewing audience, one more follow for the 5 gifted subs. One more follow for 5 gifted subs in the community before the weekend starts. We can start. I don't even know where our deadline is. Is there a deadline for the 50 followers for 5 gifted subs? You can't see it. But we are one follow away nonetheless. I'm going to shuffle it up just to see what else we get. There we go. Let's watch Sahaj 26. And I apologize if anyone caught my Twitter comment that all of the top Indian players should probably lose their chess.com accounts like Hans did. If gaining rating points and improving at chess is a sign of fair play violations, then the entire Indian continent is gaining rating points hand over fist, and therefore the Hans treatment is unfortunate. Obviously, they're working hard and they deserve what they've gotten. I also mentioned that chances are the reason why the entire Indian continent is on Lee Chess is probably because the fair play violations on chess.com, the fair play requirements are not fair. Good morning, Lauren. Please follow me on my socials, especially the YouTube, if not the Twitter and Instagram. I am posting a lot more on Instagram if I can. It is time to centralize our king. Wait a minute, what happened here? It was only king e7? Wait just a moment here. Oh, it was only king e7. And now there's a small problem. But maybe not enough of a problem.
check,
That's a good move. Get to move over. Black has no problems in this position. Sahaj is doing very okay. I don't know if I would have chosen that move. I might have gone for the e4 square. You really do want to go for the e4 square and then go after this pawn. That was if anything is the undoing of Sahaj, it is the lack of coordination here with the knight attacking this particular one. You can't get purely defensive. Not too late, by the way. Let's protect from behind. Yeah, and now it would be lovely to have a knight f5 move right about now. Sahaj is doing his best. Good day, Lauren. How are you? Over in Aussie. Darling, You're just going to have to give that one up, as it turns out. Is there a way to get coordinated again? Tough call. The turning point in this particular game was definitely not going to with the idea of going after this remaining pawn, because I don't think it's very easy to protect that pawn if the knight goes to e4. White has to see what's going on and retreat the bishop straight away, and then the king gets to come forward, and then everything is good for black, right? So on move number 52. And the winner is, let's just see here, I wanted to see this judgment call. So king to d3. Well, king c8 and king c7 are perfectly reasonable. I take back everything I said. Stockfish prefers knight e5. So the position was just that tough for black anyway. Certainly from a human perspective, I would have gone the other way. To finish the day with one more solid A3 on a Friday before we choose a new opening for the coming week. New openings. An entirely new opening repertoire coming next week. It's truly a crutch. But it's not about the London Lauren. It's about assuming a position of activity, to be honest. Absolutely assuming a position of activity. Broken hearts. So now, how passive can this position be? So there's a weakness on d6. Let's go for it. Good morning, Matt Physicist. Thank you so much for the subscription. I appreciate it for the 2 months. Very, 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 very appreciated. He does want to weaken b4 before he plays d5. That much is true. Okay. But there's more than that hanging in this position, right? First things first. We have to capture on d5. This way we can continue to attack even more pieces. Whoa! Very strange. Alright, fair enough. Just keep putting pizzas in the center. Stuff has to crack sooner or later. Somehow I knew that was going to happen. Therefore, we'll continue to grab space. Now have a pawn majority of 2-1 on the queen side. Thank you for following. We made our follower goal. Beast mode.
Find me in the corner of the room, not ready to resume, 'cause I'm taking.
I don't get September discounts. Oh my god. I really do not get September discounts. Is that craziness or what? This is interesting. That's craziness that I don't get the September discount. Is that craziness? I pay full price for the gifts and subs. This is craziness. Where is he going with all of this? Namaste. Endgames won't save you forever, Lauren. I think endgames do save you forever, ironically.
No more foreplay.
Endgames do save you forever.
Check.
This is fascinating, I have to admit.
No more foreplay.
Check.
There's no way in.
No more foreplay.
There's no way in.
Check.
This is not going to be pretty.
Check. Check.
No more foreplay.
As we continue. A relative streak of continuing to capture material until I am blue in the face.
Victory.
So, terribly sorry, Papa Chacha. Who are the lucky winners of the, So, Two Pump Chump, thank you for that last follow to meet our follower goal. Thank you so much. For the new ones in the audience, I am National Master B-Day Trainer John MacArthur in the United States. I live in New York City. I've been playing chess forever, it feels like, since before I was born. Thank you, Lauren. I don't have the same very quick rapport that, let's say, a Levy or Nemo have, AK and Nemsco. They really know how to reel off the words. I don't have that same youth. I'm a little bit more like Hikaru, where I have to think about what I'm going to say. What is your new opening? I do want to hear what your new opening repertoire is, but I change mine every week, so how often do you change yours? That is the question. Basically, I'm going to spend the entire weekend. Yes, let's. Did I make it through this tournament undefeated? And did I recover my rating? Hikaru thinking. Yeah, Hikaru should think before he, before he accuses anyone of cheating. That was a massive troll. I thought of so many other reasons that Hikaru could have come to. Basically, my last assumption is that he discovered he was getting ripped off in the chess.com deal. And because he's getting ripped off in the chess.com deal, he was unable to play in the tournament event. Ooh, ouch. I didn't realize that pawn was queening RJA. Oh no. Kiss, Lonecker. Sorry to see that. Didn't get to play me again, neither did I. Yeah, embedded viewers are an important chess.com trick, yeah. So basically everyone who is on chess.com counts as a viewer, possibly true. Which is one of the reasons why Lead Chess does not show the streamers within their app, basically, because it's illegal. The Queen's Indian attack, the Larson opening. I think I like b3 on move 2 before e3. And if you like this, check out Nick DeFermian's 1983 Reykjavik opening repertoire. Reykjavik opening repertoire. I'm not a huge fan of the French defense or the Queen's Indian accelerated, but I think the French defense goes hand in hand with the Tarrasch. I don't understand why we're not playing the Tarrasch, Lauren. Basically, an opening that can refute the Queen's Gambit is key. The chat is dead, but have 1,000 people. That is true. But yeah, basically, at the start of the tournament, or shortly before round 3, I think Magnus Carlsen found out how badly he was getting ripped off by a line in the contract, because I feel like his legal team is not the best. And therefore, he was unable to continue playing with the knowledge that he's probably not getting any money from chess.com for Play Magnus. If anything, there was a huge loophole that he's going to get everything after the bills are paid, like all of the outstanding debt and everything is not going to be assumed by chess.com. It's all going to come out of Magnus's share. He's not getting away with it. So therefore, he posted, if I say anything, I'll be in trouble, because he's also probably signed a non-disclosure on the details of the agreement with cheese.com. And the next thing you know, guess what? Hikaru gets on, extrapolates toward the evil darkness of Magnus's last round opponent, and that's it. And Magnus is just going to watch Hikaru burn at the stake in the court in a lawsuit. Basically, you can't accuse anyone of cheating or fair play violations. Basically, what you can do is report it to the administrators, your suspicions, and let the people whose job it is to determine if someone is actually cheating is cheating. So in the Lead Chess chat, I'll stop everyone as much as I can from reporting anyone cheating or even accusing anyone cheating. You can't just say, hey, dude, you didn't play fair, or you got lucky, or anything like that. You're just not allowed to do that. Just because somebody else does it doesn't make it right for everybody. So therefore, you can't accuse anyone of cheating publicly without proof. And once he accuses someone of cheating without proof, gets his chess.com account closed, because those people are like that. They just want to back up Hikaru, their boy. They're like the big bro. And then they're going to take him out of the Global Chess Championship, and they're going to impair his future earnings. And a lawyer will definitely side with him. That's cool, Lauren. But ironically, I would also work on the types of positions and try to make the positions where you're not as comfortable your strengths. Yeah, we talked about that a long time ago, Lauren. Absolutely. But in general, I would hesitate for everyone here to avoid. He has some lovely plausible deniability. Yeah, that's true. As long as you're winning. But a lawyer will take on the case for free, basically. There's no charge at all for getting a lawyer involved. There are many lawyers that will be rushing to Hans's side to take this case and to dig into it for him. He can have an entire team of lawyers who would love to go after chess drama for a living, because there's a lot of it in the near future to be had. And Hikaru does have money that can be taken. That is the other enjoyable things. Dynamics are important, still important as just a little more Kramnik than tall. Yeah, absolutely. You're going back home, but not to the terrorist defense, huh? I believe that there is a positional bent to 1e4 as well, whether you're going to choose some closed systems against the Sicilians, whether you're going to choose some positional lines within the open variations. You can find positional variations within every open Sicilian. You can play the d3 Joko piano and play it ultimately quietly. Any endgame tips? Basically, the primary endgame tip as far as making endgames enjoyable to study is to study the great games of the endgame players. For example, I'll just reach over here for one that is quite awesome. This is Anatoly Karpov, Endgame Virtuoso. And this book actually is broken up into several parts with complete games. It'll show you a particular position for a certain period of time. Then it stops that position and says this will be discussed later as white has a clear advantage in exploiting X, X, and Y. And then it'll actually pick it up again later on. And to a great extent, this book is written chronologically. So it talks about the early years, and it goes through all of his endgames and whatnot, and it deals with certain positions, not unlike how Capablanca's best chess endgame. So let's just take, I just stopped on game number 53. Basically, there are 32 moves without comment. Nice introduction to the 2-year period in the 1978. Before his title match with Portnoy, Karpov played only one tournament, Logogno, which I remember very clearly, where he shared first place with Spassky. The Baguio match, Karpov missed his seconds, Furman and Razubaya, but he had the excellent grandmasters Tal, Balashov, and Zaitsev helping him. He started well and took a 5-2 lead. Basically, and then it just talks about how grit and determination, basically grit. So here's an amazing one. You have 55 moves without comment, and he only concentrates on the endgame. So you have a variety of ways of really taking advantage of this. And I like the fact that there's very little commentary on the opening phase of the game. There are some moments where they include alternative solutions, and there are extra games in here, like Karpov Spassky is a game fragment where you have to find the move knight to b1. In fact, I'm going to put this on my guide to the left. So endgame tips for viewers: study the endgames of the great players. Another really truly great book that you would enjoy, that everyone here should enjoy, is Magnus Carlsen's 60 Memorable Games. Absolutely essential, because you will study the endgame. You'll get the endgame within the scope of the course of a practical game. And pay attention to the endgames that you lose. So if you notice yourself getting outplayed in, like say I have a notepad here, right? So if I get outplayed in rook and bishop versus rook and knight, which has happened, it's on my sheet, I'll write it down. And if it happens again and I go to write it down, guess what? Maybe, just maybe, that might be the spot. And in the index in the back of this particular book, actually, it covers much of this. Pawn races, building fortresses, doubled pawns, converting a material advantage, rooks on the 7th rank. All of these are indexed in the back of the book. Three deep and others. So endgame types: bishop versus knight, rooks on the board, opposite colored bishops. All of those are indexed here by game number. And is there another index? Hold on. No, then the other themes: open file, attacking the king, passed pawns, fixing pawns, centralizing kings, space advantage. I have little dots and initials next to pawns versus minor pieces, also very key. I would say if you're going to, we're going to do one puzzle streak before we go. We're going to do 5 puzzle streaks if we can. Looks like the queen is hanging. We identified this weakness. We're attacking it. We're going to take it. Also unprotected weakness. We've got an open line. We didn't do a very good job of checking to see if the opponent had any counterplay. So here our queen is hanging but protected, so if we capture the first queen and a rook, then we're going to be up in material after knight takes a4. Here, I don't have a choice, right? Now we have to decide how we're getting through. We can create an outside pass pawn in this manner. Pawn takes, king takes, or do we play f4? And allow him a pass pawn? No. I don't want to allow him a pass pawn. This pawn is going to, this buck stops here. This pawn is going to go through after a capture. It's very far away. And now we have check followed by another weakness here. That was our 5 for the day. And you should be doing tactics on a regular basis every single day. In the midst of an endgame, I would say the number one rule is to try not to go into an endgame where you don't feel comfortable. So before you get into the midst of an endgame, you should already know that this is an endgame that you chose. You chose this endgame for a particular reason. If for whatever reason your opponent is forcing you into an endgame for reasons that are good for them, they're up in material, they have a better minor piece, they have a space advantage, those items you would want to avoid. I understand that it's difficult to remember those motifs, but the number one rule is that you only have to be better than the person sitting across the board from you in that moment in time. The general principles are not so important. Basically, you're paying attention to where are the weaknesses, what are the worst placed pieces, and what is your opponent's true intention. Those are the 3 questions that you're asking yourself on a routine basis. Basically, you're paying attention to, throughout the game, material dynamics, material balance, how well coordinated your pieces are, your king position, king safety or otherwise, king activity, and the ability to become active in the endgame. Pawn structure, whether or not you have a favorable pawn structure and or who has the better endgame. So those 4 things, those 4 features will help guide you. Those things, just write them down again now. Basically, who has the better pawn structure, who has the better endgame, material dynamics, and king position and king safety. So please be aware of those things at all times. Doesn't make it easy though. Here we can see that there's a weak back rank. We can just take this bishop and just thank him for the rook. And we have other stuff going on here. It looks like we get to double attack the queen and the king if we chase this away. He refused to move the bishop, so we got to take it. Here we have a very serious weakness where the queen and the rook are a knight's... I'm sorry, the queen and the king have the chance to be a knight's distance away from each other. And in this particular position, are we really getting mated? We do have this move. I think we can just take. He is getting the pawn on f3, but you know what? The attack runs out of steam. Now we just look for the weaknesses. Basically, this puzzle streak is an exercise in paying attention to weaknesses. Every step of the way. It looks as though we're going to be capturing more material and threatening more than our opponent. It. Alexa, stop. I'm going to get a better Alexa so that we can talk to Alexa in a way that we can thank you, Alexa. Stop that one right now. I have to get to school. Unfortunately, I do have to run. But the real trick is, in whose good hands do we leave you? I think we're going to leave you in the good hands of Frugi. Good. I was worried because I cannot stay any longer. I want to thank everyone here for hanging out with me and heeding the advice, the follows, and everything. We have a nice solid viewership here. I want to thank everyone for being here. Please check out in the top left-hand corner of the description of the previous tournament. We celebrate a player every day on their particular birthday. We bring awareness to their career, and we shout them out to the chess community as best we can. We have Two Pump Chump, who made it possible for Fiel Princess Accept Challenge, and several others to get gifted subs. Basically, Two Pump Chump reached our follower goal. Matt Physicist, Dr. Ahmad Saturn, thank you for the resub, 2 months. Dr. Ahmad Saturn, Boggy888, Mark Yowell, Fiel Princess, and Accept Challenge 20. Cheers, everyone. Have a great day. I will see you again tomorrow morning. Please make sure that you're in the dojo for the weekend. The Rapid and Classical is on tomorrow. Absolutely on tomorrow. Very happy with the attendance that we've been getting in our teams. Cheers and thanks, everyone. Bye.
Yes. Depends on the question, but let's just say yes in advance. Hey, Master Chess Dojo. Hello. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome. I'm about to leave too, actually, but thank you for the raid. And I hope you had a nice stream. And wow, just to introduce myself, I'm Frugi and a woman with a master fighting currently for the Woman International Master. Now, Norma started, I'm in title, but Norma also, so both.